Hello everyone, I am your host Ayushi Karasethia and welcome back to our channel Pabbly. In this video we are going to learn how you can create Zoho Books Invoices from new Shopify orders automatically. So the idea here is that you are an e-commerce platform owner and you are selling your products and services digitally. Now you want that whenever you receive an order, automatically a new invoice should be generated. But here you have two options. First, do it manually. Take the details of each and every order from your e-commerce platform, that is your Shopify store, then manually create an invoice for each and every order, and then you need to share it with your customers. But this will be a time-consuming, tiresome and a repetitive process, and it becomes difficult when you receive hundreds and thousands of orders on a regular basis. The second option is to create an automation so that whenever you receive a new order on your e-commerce platform or on your Shopify store, automatically using the details of the order, a new invoice should be generated into your accounting software, that is your Zoho Books. But here a problem is that there is no direct connection between your Shopify store and your Zoho Books account. And in order to create a connection, we are going to use a software application, that is Pabbly Connect. So basically, Pabbly Connect is an automation and integration software which will help us in integrating both these software applications automatically. The best part here is it doesn't require any coding skills or programming knowledge. Even a non-technical person can use this software application very easily. So how you're going to set up this automation? For that you need to come to my screen.
Welcome back to my screen. Here let us type Pabbly, pabbly.com in our browser. This is the website of Pabbly. Here we have to come to products and click on Pabbly Connect. This is the landing page of Pabbly Connect. As you are the first time user, you have to click on sign up for free option to create a new account. You can just create your new account in 2 minutes. As I already have an account with Pabbly Connect, I'll simply click on sign in. In the all apps section, come to Pabbly Connect and click on access now. This is the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Here we have to create a workflow. For that, come to this plus sign and click on create workflow. Now here we have to give a name to the workflow. So let us give the name as Shopify to Zoho Books Integration. Here you can give the workflow name as per your requirement and simply click on create. Now we can see a trigger window and an action window. So Pabbly Connect works on the concept of trigger and action. Trigger means when this happens, action means do this. So in this particular use case, we want to create Zoho Books Invoices from new Shopify orders. For that, first we need to create an integration or a connection between our Shopify store and Pabbly Connect. So just open this trigger window and here we are going to choose the application name as Shopify. Select the trigger event as new order. Now here we can see a webhook URL and some instructions. So by following these instructions, you can set up the webhook in your Shopify store. So first let us copy this webhook URL from here and I'll just take you to my Shopify store. Okay, this is my Shopify account. Here we can find the settings option. Okay, you have to just click on settings and here we can find notifications option. Click on notifications. And when we scroll down, at last we can find webhooks option. We have to create a new webhook over here. So simply click on create webhook button. Now it is asking for the event. What do you want to do? Here we are going to just select order creation. So let us find order creation. Okay, the event would be order creation. Format will be JSON format itself. And here it is asking for the URL. So here we have to paste the webhook URL that we have copied from Pabbly Connect. Okay, so let us paste the URL over here. And now it is asking for the webhook API version. So here we will be selecting the latest version of the API. Okay, and simply click on save. Webhook saved successfully. Okay, so the webhook is saved now. Let's move back to Pabbly Connect. And here we can see that it is waiting for the webhook response. So in order to capture the response, we have to do a test submission. It means we have to create a new order in our Shopify store to capture the response over here. So I'll just move to my store. Let's go to Shopify. I'll just close the settings. And from here, I'm just going to open my store. Okay, and here we have to make an order. So I'm just going to select this air conditioner. Let's place the order for it. Click on buy it now. Okay, and here I'll be filling the details. Let's give the email address as demo@pabblytudes.com. Okay, let's give the first name as demo, last name as name itself, company name as Pabbly, address as SP 189 Indus Park, city as Bhopal, state as Madhya Pradesh. Let's enter the pin code, and I'm just entering a random phone number over here. Okay, and here we can find the order details, air conditioner. The quantity is 1, so the price is 25,000 rupees. Okay, the total amount is mentioned, and now let's click on continue to shipping. Okay, let's click on continue to payment. And here I'm just entering the card details. These are my test card details. Okay, and now let's click on pay now. The order is getting processed over here. Okay. Okay, and here we can see your order is confirmed. Okay, now let's move back to Pabbly Connect. And here we can see the responses received and all the details related to the new order are captured over here. We can find the ID, and when we scroll down, we can find the other details. Here we can find the contact email. Here we can find the created date and time, the price of the product. Okay. And here also we can find the email address. Okay, here we can find the amount. And let's scroll down. Yes, here we can find the customer name as demo. Here we can find the address, its phone number, city, state, code, India. Okay, and all other details related to the order are captured over here. Okay, I'll just want to show you the product name also. Yes, the line item name is air conditioner. So now we want to create an invoice for this particular customer for the order that we have received in our Shopify store. But first we need to check whether this particular customer, that is demo name, whether this customer exists in our Zoho Books account or not. Because for creating an invoice, the customer should exist in our Zoho Books account. For that, let's scroll down, come to this action step, and here we are going to choose the application name as Zoho Books. Select the action event as get contact by email. Click on connect. Click on add new connection and click on connect with Zoho Books. Now it is asking for the domain name. Enter your Zoho Books account domain name over here. So I'll just take you to my Zoho Books account, and here in the URL you can find that it is zoho.com. So you have to enter your domain name over here. So as you can see that my domain name is zoho.com. So I'm just entering the same. Okay, please enter your domain name over here and click on save. And now it is asking Pabbly Connect would like to access the information. So it is asking for the access. Let's click on accept and give away the access over here. Authorization successful. Okay, and now the Zoho Books account is connected to Pabbly Connect. Now it is asking for the organization. So I have already created organizations over here. You can see I have two organizations, Magnet Brains as well as Pabbly Book. So now I want to create the invoices in Pabbly Book organization. So I'll be selecting the same organization name over here, that is Pabbly Book. And here we have to map the email address of the customer or the customer who has placed the order. Okay, so we have already got the details from the trigger response over here. So we are going to map it over here. So let's come to Shopify, and here let us find the email address, that is demo@pabblytudes.com. Okay, and now let's click on save and send test request. Okay, and here we can see the response is received and all the details are captured over here. We can find the contact ID, the contact name, company name, and all other details related to this particular contact is captured over here. Okay, it means the customer do exist in our Zoho Books account. Now, there can be two conditions. First, the customer may exist. The second condition may be the customer may not exist in our Zoho Books account. So, how to create the invoice? For that, we are just going to apply the routers over here. Okay, instead of creating invoices, first let us click on this plus sign, add action step. And here in the application, we will be selecting router. So here we will be specifying route 1 as well as route 2. So I'm just going to click on this 3 dots, click on rename, and here let us rename it as if customer or contact, whatever you want to give, you can just mention it over here, exists. Okay, if customer exists, and the second route would be if customer does not exist. So we'll be specifying the routes, then what to do in case if the customer is existing and if the customer is not existing. Now let's click on set filter and action steps. Now here we have to specify the filter. It is the if condition. Okay. Come to select label option, and from here we are going to select the contact ID of the customer that we have got from the second response. Okay. The second action step. Get contact by email. Okay. And here we have got the contact ID. Simply map it. The filter type will be is exist. If this particular customer exists, just check the condition by clicking on save and send test request. Okay, status success message condition is true. Yes, just because this particular customer do exist in our Zoho Books account. Now, if the customer is existing, simply create an invoice for this customer. For creating an invoice, click on this plus sign, add action step. Choose the application name as Zoho Books once again. Select the action event as create invoice, create sales invoice. Click on connect. As we have recently created a connection, I'll just choose this option, that is select existing connection, and I'll click on save. And now the Zoho Books account is connected to Pabbly Connect. Now here we have to select the organization name, that is Pabbly Book. You have to select your organization name. And all the customer details are captured over here. In the response, we can find all the customer names. So my customer name was demo name. So I'll be selecting it from the drop down. And here we'll be selecting other options. Okay. If you want to give the invoice number, you can just mention it over here. If you have to give some reference number, just specify it over here. Okay. Let's scroll down. Here we have to give the exchange rate. Okay. It is also mentioned add exchange rate here, example 1. So let's enter 1. Okay. Here we have to give line item name. So let us find line item name from Shopify Orders. And it was air conditioner. Okay. Now it is asking for the description. We can just skip this step as it is not mandatory. Here we have to give line item rate. So let us again find it from Shopify. Okay. So I'll just map the price. Yes, it was total line item price. And here we have to give the quantity. So let us map the quantity also. It was just one quantity. Okay, let's scroll down. If you want to map some other details, you can just map it over here. Okay, VAT treatment, tax treatment, GST number, place of supply. Okay, so here we'll be just click on this mapping button and I'll just remove this data. Okay, and I'm just leaving this field as blank. Okay, let's scroll down and now we have mapped all the details. So we have to just click on save and send test request. Okay, and here we can see the response is received, and in the response we have got a message, the invoice has been created, and here we have also got the invoice number. Okay, here we can see invoice number as 29. So let's just close this window. Okay, and we will be checking our Zoho Books account. This is my Zoho Books dashboard. Come to the sales section and here we can find the invoices. Okay, so here we can see a new invoice is created, invoice number 29. Okay, I'll just open this invoice. Okay, and here we can see invoice date as today's date mentioned, invoice number 29. Here we can find it is billed to demo name. Item and description is mentioned as air conditioner. And here the quantity is 1, rate is mentioned, amount is mentioned. So in this way we can see that a correct invoice is generated for the existing customer. Okay, now let's move back to Pabbly Connect. And now we are going to set the filter and action steps for the second route, that if the customer does not exist in our Zoho Books account, then what needs to be done? So simply click on set filter and action steps first. Again, we have to select the label from here, come to Zoho Books and map contact ID. Now this time filter type will be does not exist. If this particular contact does not exist in Zoho Books account, we have to check the condition. So click on save and send test request. And here we can see status error, message condition is false, just because this particular customer do exist in our Zoho Books account. We'll simply save it. Data saved successfully. Okay, and let's close this particular window. Okay, now we are going to capture the response of the customer who does not exist in our Zoho Books account. So we have to simply click on recapture webbook response button of our Shopify trigger. Okay, it is asking, do you wish to recapture the response? Let's click on yes. And now we can see that it is again waiting for the webbook response. So I'll just move to the Shopify store once again. And we are going to make a purchase on the name of a customer who does not exist in our Zoho Books account. Okay. Now let us select any of the product from here. Okay. Let us select this coffee mug. Okay. Let's click on buy it now. Okay. And here we have to give the email address. So let us give it as testing@pabblytudes.com. Okay, let's give the first name as testing, last name as name itself, company name as Pabbly. Let us give the address as E4 256 Arera Colony, city as Indore, state as Madhya Pradesh. Let's enter the phone number, pin code. Let us enter the phone number. And let's click on continue to shipping. Here we can find the details. Subtotal as 230, shipping free, taxes added. Okay, the total will be 271. And let's click on continue to payment. Let's enter the test card details over here. Okay, I'll just enter the expiration date. And now let's click on pay now. The order is getting processed. Okay, and here we can see that the order has been placed. Your order is confirmed. Now let's move back to Pabbly Connect. And within some seconds, we will be seeing that the response will be captured over here. Okay, and here we can see the response is received. And here in the response, we can see the first name as testing, last name as name, company name as Pabbly, address, city, state, country, code, phone number, and all other details are captured over here. Okay, I'll just scroll down and show you the product name also. Okay, the product name is over here. Yes, it was the coffee mug. So we can find the product name also. So now we are going to create an invoice for this particular customer who does not exist in Zoho Books. For that, again come to the routers. Okay, and now we are going to again click on set filter and action steps for the second route if customer does not exist. Now click on this plus sign add action step, and now first we will be creating a customer or a contact in our Zoho Books account. So again select the application name as Zoho Books. Select the action event as create contact. Now click on connect. Again choose the option that is select existing connection because we do have a connection with our Zoho Books account. Okay, the Zoho Books account is connected. Now here again we have to select the organization as Pabbly Book. Here we have to map the contact name. So we have already got the contact name now in our Shopify trigger response. So we'll be mapping the name over here. So the contact name was testing, and we have to map the last name also. So again come to Shopify and let us map the last name. That was no name itself. Now here we have to map the company name. So let us map company name as Pabbly. Here we have to map the first name. First name was testing. Here we'll be mapping the last name. Here we have to map the email address. Email address was testing@pabblytudes.com. Here we have to map the phone number. Okay, billing full address. Okay, so let us map the address. Here we'll be mapping the city. Here we have to map the state. Here we have to map the zip code. Here we have to map the country. If you have some other details, you can just map it over here. Okay. And now let's click on Save and Send Test Request. Okay, and here we can see the responses received. And in the response, we can see message, the contact has been added. It means a new contact is created in our Zoho Books account. So first, let us check whether the contact is created or not. Let's move to the customers section. Okay, and here we can see a new customer named Testing Name, company name as Pabbly. Here we can find the email address, phone number. It means a new customer is added in our Zoho Books account. Now we will be creating an invoice for this particular customer. So let's move to Pabbly Connect. Okay, let's scroll down, click on this plus sign, add action step once again. Here we'll be choosing the application name as Zoho Books. And now we are going to create an invoice for this particular customer. Let's select the action event as Create Invoice, Create Sales Invoice. Click on Connect. Select the existing connection over here. Click on Save. And now the Zoho Books account is connected to Pabbly Connect. Now again we have to select the organization name as Pabbly Book. You have to select your organization name. And this time we are going to select the customer name as Testing Name from the drop down. Okay, as a new customer is created and the name is captured over here. Now we are going to map other details. Okay, let's give the exchange rate as 1. Here we are going to map the line item name. So line item name, we have to get it from Shopify and it was coffee mug. Okay, we have to give the rate over here. So the rate was line item price. Here we have to map the quantity. If you want to mention the discount, you can just give it over here. You can give the product type, shipping charges as per your requirement. Okay, let's scroll down. Here again, we have to select the place of supply. I'm just going to click on this mapping button to ignore this field and just remove this data from here. Let's scroll down and simply click on Save and Send Test Request. Okay, and here we can see the response is received, and in the response, we have got the invoice ID over here and the invoice number as 31. It means the invoice is created. Let us check the invoice also. Let's come to the invoices section. Okay, and here we can see the invoice number 31. Here we can see it is billed to Testing Name. Here we can find the address also. The item name as coffee mug. Here we can find the quantity, rate and the total amount as 230. It means a correct invoice is created for the correct invoice is generated over here. Now let's move back to Pabbly Connect and let us just save this particular workflow first. Data saved successfully. Okay, and now let's close this particular window. So we have set both the routes that if the customer exists, then simply create an invoice for the customer. And if the customer does not exist, then first create a customer in our Zoho Books account, then create an invoice for that particular customer. So now we have to check this in the real time that whether our integration is actually working fine or not. For that, I'll just move to my Shopify store once again. And here we are going to make an order on the name of a customer who does not exist in our Zoho Books account. Okay. So let's scroll down and here I'm just going to order this particular short sleeve t-shirt. Let's click on buy it now. Here we are going to enter the details, email address as dummy@pabblytudes.com. Okay, let's give the first name as dummy, last name as name, company name as Pabbly, address as EM 156, New Market, city as Bhopal, State as Madhya Pradesh. Let's enter the PIN code. Let's enter the phone number. Click on continue to shipping. Okay, let's click on continue to payment. Let's enter the test card details over here. Let's click on pay now. Your order is being processed. Okay, the order is placed over here. Your order is confirmed. Now we are going to check our Zoho Books account. First, we will be checking whether a new customer is created in our Zoho Books account and whether the invoice is created or not. So let's move to Zoho Books. Let's move to the customers section. And I'm just going to, before refreshing itself, I can see the customer name over here as dummy name. Here we can find the company name as Pabbly. Here we can find the email address, the phone number. And now let us check the invoice also. And here we can find a new invoice created over here, invoice number 32. I'll just open the invoice for you. Okay, and this particular invoice is number 32. It is invoice date is 23rd of July, that is today's date, due on receipt. Name is dummy name. Here we can check the address also. And here we can find the product as short sleeves t-shirt. And here we can find the amount. So in this way, we can see that we have created a successful automation over here. So let's move back to Pabbly Connect. And I'll just minimize all these windows and let us see in a nutshell whatever we have done till now. Okay. So first we have created an integration between Shopify and Pabbly Connect. Then Pabbly Connect has captured all the details of the order as well as the customer whenever a new order was placed. Then we have checked the contact by email by adding the action step of Zoho Books, that whether this particular contact who has made the order is already existing in our Zoho Books account or not. And then we have applied the conditions by setting up the router that if the customer exists, then create an invoice for the customer. And if the customer is not existing in the Zoho Books account, then first create a customer and then create the invoice for that customer in our Zoho Books account. And in this way, we have created a successful integration between Shopify and Zoho Books using Pabbly Connect.
So not just these software applications, you can integrate a ton of applications and automate your business using Pabbly Connect. In case of any queries, you can visit our Pabbly forum. To check the pricing details of Pabbly Connect, you can visit this particular URL. Also, the link of Pabbly Connect and this workflow is available in the description box. You can clone the same workflow into your account directly. If you really like this video, please comment, share and subscribe. Thank you everyone.